X-Men 97 Season 2 Episode 7, titled Strange Land, Savage Heart, is much more than another action-packed adventure. Beneath the dinosaur-filled battles and mutant conflicts lies a powerful story about grief, forgiveness, and whether even the most hateful person deserves a second chance. By the time the episode ends, Exodus is dead, Colossus returns to the X-Men, Graydon Creed escapes justice in an unexpected way, and Marvel delivers one of the biggest reveals of the entire season with Gambit's shocking return. The episode opens with a heartbreaking flashback that immediately explains Colossus' emotional state. Years earlier, Pyotr Rasputin and his younger sister Ilyana are attacked by Sentinels. Despite his incredible strength, Colossus cannot save her. Ilyana dies before his eyes. That single moment defines everything he becomes afterwards. The loss leaves him vulnerable to Magneto's philosophy that mutants can never truly coexist peacefully with humanity. Instead of remaining with the X-Men, Colossus joins Magneto's followers, believing strength and separation offer the only path to survival. Back in the present, the political conflict surrounding mutants continues escalating. Graydon Creed launches his presidential campaign with another passionate anti-mutant speech. His message is built entirely around fear and division. However, before the event can finish, Magneto's followers storm the gathering and abduct him. The kidnapping immediately raises the stakes because Graydon is no ordinary politician. He is one of the loudest voices encouraging hatred toward mutants. He also carries an ironic family secret. Graydon is the son of Mystique and Sabretooth, making him a mutant's child despite spending his life opposing mutant existence. The group responsible for kidnapping him is the Acolytes. Unlike the X-Men, the Acolytes fully embrace Magneto's mutant-first ideology. Led by Exodus, they believe peaceful coexistence has already failed. Their demand is simple: release every imprisoned mutant held by X-Factor or Graydon Creed dies. When Valerie Cooper informs Professor Xavier about the situation, the X-Men immediately head toward the Acolytes' hidden base. Their destination is the Savage Land. For longtime Marvel fans, the Savage Land is one of the franchise's most unique locations. Completely isolated from the modern world, it remains a prehistoric environment where dinosaurs still roam freely. It is also filled with the remnants of Mr. Sinister's twisted scientific experiments, making it an especially dangerous place for anyone who enters. Unfortunately, the rescue mission goes wrong almost immediately. Missiles strike the team's aircraft, disabling mutant powers across the area. Bishop is thrown from the damaged jet while Polaris dives after him without hesitation. The accident separates the team into two groups. Throughout the season, the relationship between Bishop and Polaris has slowly developed. Episode 7 quietly continues building that connection as they struggle to survive together inside the dangerous wilderness. They soon discover the reason every mutant suddenly lost their abilities. The Acolytes have reactivated Mr. Sinister's old inhibitor tower. The machine suppresses mutant powers across the entire region. Without their abilities, even experienced heroes become vulnerable. Meanwhile, Beast, Rogue, and Nightcrawler unexpectedly encounter Colossus. Although happy to see an old friend alive, they quickly realize how deeply grief has changed him. Ilyana's death still dominates every decision he makes. Rather than following Magneto because of hatred alone, Colossus is desperately searching for a world where no mutant sibling must suffer the same fate again. The emotional heart of the episode begins when Nightcrawler confronts Exodus. Unlike the other X-Men, Nightcrawler refuses to see Graydon Creed as someone beyond redemption. Their connection is deeply personal. Both men are sons of Mystique. Although Graydon spent years spreading hatred toward mutants, Nightcrawler still views him as family. Instead of demanding revenge, he requests a formal trial. Colossus agrees to serve as judge. However, Nightcrawler also accepts an enormous personal risk. If he loses the case, he must permanently join the Acolytes. The trial itself becomes one of the episode's strongest scenes. Exodus presents an overwhelming case against Graydon. He reminds everyone that Graydon founded the Friends of Humanity organization. He helped spread anti-mutant hatred. He attempted to frame mutants for attacks they never committed. He even supported developing a deadly virus designed specifically to eliminate mutant life. From a legal perspective, Graydon appears impossible to defend. Nightcrawler never tries denying any of those crimes. Instead, he asks everyone to look beneath them. He argues that Graydon's hatred began with abandonment. Raised without the love of his mutant parents, Graydon grew into an adult consumed by fear and resentment. Nightcrawler does not excuse his actions. He simply refuses to believe anyone is born beyond redemption. Colossus finds himself trapped between two impossible choices. His grief tells him that people responsible for mutant suffering deserve punishment. His memories of Illyana remind him that kindness also matters. Unable to reach a decision, he hesitates. That single moment changes everything. Exodus loses patience. Believing mercy itself is weakness, he abandons the trial and attempts to execute Graydon personally. At the same time, Bishop and Polaris finally succeed in destroying the Inhibitor Tower. Instantly, every mutant regains their powers. The courtroom transforms into a full-scale battle between the X-Men and the Acolytes. Amid the chaos, an unexpected twist changes everything. Graydon Creed kills Exodus. Rather than dying at the hands of the heroes, the extremist leader falls because of the very prisoner he intended to execute. The irony is impossible to ignore. Exodus believed absolute strength guaranteed victory. Instead, his own obsession with violence creates the opportunity for his downfall. Afterwards, Nightcrawler makes another surprising decision. Instead of delivering Graydon to an angry crowd seeking revenge, he teleports him away from the battlefield. Leaving him alone in a snowy landscape, Nightcrawler quietly speaks about forgiveness before allowing X-Factor to take Graydon into custody. Whether Graydon truly changes remains uncertain. What matters is that Nightcrawler refuses to abandon the principles that define the X-Men. Mercy only has meaning when it is offered to someone who seems least deserving of it. Following the battle, Colossus makes his own emotional decision. He tells Nightcrawler that the arguments presented during the trial did not actually convince him. Then he quietly adds one heartbreaking sentence. Illyana would have believed them. That simple admission reveals everything. Although grief still dominates his heart, remembering the compassion his sister carried allows him to step away from the Acolytes and return to the X-Men. The ending could have stopped there and already delivered an emotional conclusion. Instead, the episode saves its biggest surprise for the final minutes. Far away from the Savage Land, X-Force investigates Apocalypse's hidden sanctuary beneath the Parthenon in Athens. They expect to confront one of Marvel's greatest villains. Instead, they discover only his skeletal remains. The mysterious discovery immediately raises countless questions. If Apocalypse is truly dead, who or what has been carrying out his plans? The answer appears only moments later. Jubilee notices a familiar playing card resting nearby. For longtime fans, that single image is unmistakable. Gambit has returned. However, this is not the same hero the X-Men lost. He has been resurrected by Apocalypse as the Horseman of Death. Rather than celebrating his survival, the team now faces the terrifying possibility that one of their closest friends has become one of their greatest enemies. The reveal perfectly sets up the final episodes of the season. The X-Men are no longer preparing for a simple battle against Apocalypse. They must also confront the painful reality of fighting someone they once loved and trusted. Overall, X-Men 97 Season 2 Episode 7 delivers an outstanding blend of emotional storytelling, superhero action, and classic Marvel mythology. Colossus finally begins healing from Illyana's death. Nightcrawler proves that compassion remains the X-Men's greatest strength, and the shocking return of Gambit raises the emotional stakes higher than ever before. With only 2 episodes remaining, the stage is now set for a heartbreaking confrontation where the X-Men must battle Apocalypse's growing forces, while desperately hoping there is still a way to save Gambit from becoming the Horseman of Death.